Hello YouTube, it's CalFX here and I'm back with another weekly outlook. So I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. We're in the new month actually of this 2024, that's August. I know I should have sent a outlook on the for the first week of August, but I was very busy, so I didn't really manage to have the time to record, upload, edit and then upload. But here we are. I mean, we're still at the beginning of the month of August. I mean, so far for me, has been going good. I can say that yeah, definitely it's going good. I just got funded with two prop firms. One is Alpha Capital. You guys can see right here, Alpha Capital, and the other is Funded Next. So I'm just basically trying out a lot of these prop firms, just basically diversifying some of my investment towards not just put one, might not put all eggs in one basket, right? It's always try out this prop firm and that. I'm usually not a person of prop firms, but I'm just giving it a shot for this year. And yeah, I'm gonna keep you guys updated also on the live trading of these prop firms. And so far so good. I don't really have much bad to say about these prop firms. And yeah, so far, I mean, the month is gone very nice. I actually caught a trade that I called and sent. I'm actually gonna do a breakdown of that trade on the next video that I'll upload during the week. It was a beautiful one on New Zealand dollar. So yeah, so without taking much time, let's hop right into the outlook. We're gonna start with Euro USD as we always do. Let's look at it from the monthly time frame, understand the overall higher time frame and intention on this pair. I think we all know up to this point. I mean, we've done lots of breakdowns on during this year, and we can see that Euro USD is bearish, has a bearish intention. We had this break of structure, mitigation, and then we have a second break of structure. And if you use the Fibonacci, you want to know, you can use the high all the way to the low, and you can see prices around 61.8, which is the golden zone, right? So that is this order block situated at 61.8. Price just tapped there, and for example, that's a monthly supply zone. So usually what happens is when price comes to my monthly supply zone, I want to see a weekly change of character, right? That's a confirmation that okay, the zone was respected and price is looking to drop. So price came into that monthly supply zone. We have the weekly change of character. Price came back to the weekly supply zone. Now we're expecting to see price making its way down to this weekly previous low and then eventually monthly previous low. So that's how you build the story. So this is the weekly. Price came, so we had a weekly change of character. Price came to a weekly supply zone, respected. We can see price coming down. So after we do that, we drop down to daily time frame. So if we look at the daily, what we had here is that we had this high, we had this low, and then we had this high. And then we had this nice daily change of character, and then price just pulled back. Actually had mitigated this, I should say decisional zone, but we still had this unmitigated supply zone right here. This basically was the catalyst of this bearish push. So it was left unmitigated. We can see fair value gap right there. So price basically was just building liquidity during this whole time. We can see right here this trend line zone right here, and price just swept right now with this, with the previous news on these weeks. So price just came into this daily supply zone. Now you guys already know, once price comes to a daily supply zone, I like to drop down to hourly time frame. So let's say, okay, this is the daily supply zone the price just tapped into. Let's drop down to 4 hour. So here we are on the 4 hour. Now the 4 hour, if I asked you, what is the structure right here? Is it bullish or bearish? I think anyone can say it's bullish because we have this swing high, this swing low, then this swing high. So basically price just had a break of structure to the upside. And this right here is the order block sitting below, right? So we have lots of imbalances sitting below. So basically what happens here is that, okay, 4 hour has a push to the upside, What I'm expecting to see is a pullback all the way down into this demand zone. Now for that, what will confirm to me that this 4 hour is ready to have a pullback all the way to this demand zone. So let me just even mark the zone right here just to make it clear. This right here is going to be the demand zone that I'm looking at. Let me just quickly put right here. So this is the demand zone that I'm looking at right now. So I'm gonna call it POI. And so what's going to give me that sign that 4 hours ready to do a pullback is going to be a shift in medium time frame. So medium time frame is going to be M15 or M30. So let me drop down, for example, let me use M20. That's the same thing. Or we can even use M30. Let me just keep it M30 right here. So when we come to M30, we can see that we had this structure right here. So let me just zoom in. Right. So if we read the structure, we had this previous high, we had this low, then we had this high and low before price made this high. So this high, that's when it tapped that daily supply zone. And then we had this nice M30 change of character. Price came to this order block, which is the decisional one, and then had a second break of structure, and price is now at this order block right here. So basically we can see that on the medium time frame, the structure has shifted from bullish to bearish. And so we have two breaks of structures on M30. So what I'm looking for once the market opens is to go to lower time frames and look for selling opportunities all the way down into that 4 hour demand zone below. Okay, so it's simple as that. 4 hour is bullish right now. What we want to do as a scalper is just to ride that bearish order flow, that 4 hour pullback towards its demand zone below, and that's it, right? So that's it for USD. Let's move to the next pair. Our next pair is Aussie dollar, and we're gonna look at it from the weekly time frame. That's all we need as an intraday trader. And if you look at it, we can see Aussie dollar is bearish on the weekly time frame. I mean, there is no doubt about that. We had a break of structure. Price then came back to mitigate the supply zone, and then we have this nice bearish chain within that range, and price so far came into this zone. So if I drop down, for example, to daily time frame, we can see something interesting is that once price had tapped that weekly supply zone, we had this major daily change of character. Price came, respected, and we can see the drop. So price ended up coming into that daily previous low right here. It just liquidated the low, but it didn't close below. So that already showed the sign that maybe the bearish sentiment in the market was in depletion at this particular point. So if I drop down to 8 hour time frame, I saw something quite interesting is that we had this change of character right here. So this was the change of character. So that price came to that daily supply, so then give this huge 4 hour change of character. If we use the fib from this high all the way to this low right here, we can see that price is around 50%. It went above 50%, so maybe right now it's reacting at this supply zone, but I'm not really confident about this zone. I believe price may still want to come somewhere around this area right here. I'm trying to look into this area. Maybe price can tap somewhere that zone, and then we have that continuation to the downside, because I still need to see the 4 hour body closure below the previous low. So far I'm monitoring this zone right here on the 8 hour time frame, as well as this one above, which is situated between 61.8 and 78.0. So it's gonna be a very good zone to look at. Aussie dollar hasn't been clear this previous couple weeks. Maybe it's the uncertainties of the markets, right? But you know, these major pairs haven't really been, the intention hasn't been clear, especially on the medium time frames and stuff. But as price came into this 8 hour, for example, we can drop down to M30. So on the M30 time frame, I can see something interesting is that we had a change of character right here. So this was the M30 change of character on that zone. And so this is going to be the supply zone that I'm looking at. So I want to see, once price returns, I want to see the reaction here. So once it gives a good confirmation, it can be a change of character on M3 or M5, we can take the sell all the way down. Okay, so that's it for Aussie dollar. Let's go to the next pair. Our next pair is GU, and GU is also bearish. Just looking at it from the weekly time frame, we had this price actually tapped the monthly supply zone, gave us a weekly change of character, came back to a weekly supply zone. So what we do next is we drop down to the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, if you read the structure, we can see that the structure is bullish, right? Because we had this high, this swing low, but then we had this decisional pullback before price broke the previous high. So price just came to this decisional order block. Now, the extreme order block on the daily would have been this one right here, right? But as of now, I'm actually monitoring the reaction at this decisional order block because it was very important to create the break of this above this previous high. Now, this is on the daily time frame. Now, once price comes to a daily, I like to drop down to hourly time frame. So let me go to 2 hours. If we look at the 2 hours, the question is, what is the structure up to this point? Okay, price came to a daily demand zone. But what is the structure on the hourly? We can see that we had the break, then mitigation, second break of structure, and price is now at an hourly supply zone. So the structure right here on the hourly is bearish. So I'm going to be looking for sales until price breaks above this previous high. Once price gives this change of character, that's when I'm going to change my bias to bullish on the hourly time frame. So as of now, hourly is still bearish. So I'm going to be looking for sales because there may be a possibility of price continue to push down and breaking that daily previous low right here, even violating this daily order block, right? So I'm going to keep my sell bias right here on the hourly time frame until price does otherwise, right? It just gives a bullish change of character to the upside. Okay, so that's it for GU. Let's go to the next pair. So our next pair is going to be New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar, similar to Aussie dollar, they have basically the same price action. We can see, just looking at it from the monthly time frame, we can see that we had this nice break of structure, mitigation, second break of structure, mitigation. So we can drop down to the daily time frame to really see what's going on with the price action. So daily is absolutely bearish as well. So we had this break, mitigation, second break of structure, mitigation, and price actually attempted, ended up violating the previous low. I think this is exactly what we had previewed on the weeks ago, and we wanted to see price coming all the way down to break this daily previous low and then take the weekly low as well. But price just came with a week and started to push up. So if we're coming, for example, to 4-hour time frame, I'm not really seeing a very strong zone right here because price broke structure right here on the 4-hour, pulled back to this, for example, this supply zone right here. So then it had another break of structure. So the zone that I will be looking to see is maybe this one right here. So that's what I would want to see New Zealand dollar coming, right? So I'm looking to see New Zealand dollar coming into this 4-hour supply zone, and then I'm gonna take the sell all the way down to daily previous low. So it's simple like that. The bias right here on the hourly is bearish. We're gonna keep a sell bias until price does otherwise. Okay, so that's it for New Zealand. Let's go to the next pair. So our next pair is going to be the gold, right? It's going to be gold. We already know gold is a very sometimes complicated pair. I believe it's because of the momentum, right? That usually has, right? And it has a lot of volatility, right? So that's why sometimes I have this love and hate relationship with gold. But let's look at it for example, from the 12-hour time frame. So on the 12-hour, I think anyone can see, guys, that the structure is absolutely bearish, right? It's clearly right here presented. We had this break of structure to the upside, mitigation, break of structure to the upside, and then price came somewhere to this demand zone and then started to push up. So once price came here, I saw some reluctance because I was expecting price to from here to just continue to push up, breaking the previous high. But if we go, for example, to 4-hour time frame, we can see that we had this break right here, break of structure to the upside, mitigation of the demand zone, and then price created I can say internal change of character. So we had this internal choke and then came back to mitigate this demand zone, and now we're starting to push up, right? So up to this point, for example, just looking from 4-hour, we can see we even had another internal 4-hour change of character because price he actually had this low, this high, and then this low right here. And then it made this low, but it failed to create a lower low. So I call this lower low reluctancy, right? Price actually failing to give a lower low. So we had this low, and then price broke structure. So what I'm expecting on gold is at least to see price come somewhere here into this area right here. I would love to see a pullback toward this zone right here. So then once price comes into this zone, I'm gonna look for M15 change of character to the upside, and then I'm gonna buy all the way into this 12-hour previous high, right? So it's just simple as that. I know gold usually is the type of pair that sometimes you can just do a little pullback somewhere here and then continue to push up, right? But I really would love to see a pullback around 50%, because even if I use the fib from this low all the way to this high, we can see that price, I mean, this is just situated, this order block situated around 61.8, which is considered the golden zone for buys. So I'm looking to see gold pulling back to this area, and then I'm gonna drop down to medium time frame, which is M15, to look for buying opportunities. Okay, so our last pair is going to be EuroCAD. It's not a pair that I usually do a breakdown on, but I mean, it's a very good pair to trade. It has a really very good price action. I really love it. I know for most people, or most brokers, EuroCAD usually has high spread. But if you got a raw spread account, I mean, EuroCAD is going to do you a great favor. It's a very good pair. So let me look at EuroCAD from the weekly time frame. I think it's very clear to understand. For example, the overall intention, just looking from the weekly, we can see that we had this major break of structure to the downside, right? So we had this huge break, and price came all the way into this supply zone. So I mean, it's been basically like 2 years, right? The price has been doing all this pullback towards this weekly supply zone. So this is definitely a zone that most people, big investors, was waiting on, and we want to see price continue to push all the way down to this previous low. I mean, it's gonna take years, I know, but you know, that's price just came into that weekly supply zone. So what do we do next? We can drop down to the daily time frame. So the daily, we want to read the structure. We can see that the structure overall on daily time frame is still bullish, right? I mean, there is no discussion about it, right? So we have a break, price then mitigated this zone. We had another break, price mitigated this demand zone, just continue to push up into that weekly supply zone. So we can see that once price came into that weekly supply zone, it had this push right here, this reaction. Now, what we do next is we drop down to 4-hour time frame, right? So let's drop down to 4-hour time frame and understand what's going on. I think it's very simple to see that we had a break of structure to the upside. So the demand zone that I first marked, we had this one, which was the decisional, right? So this is the first demand zone that I was looking at, but I also have this one. Why is that? Because we had this low right here. And we can see the price before it liquidated this previous low right here. So it came down. So that's when the orders were filled right here and pushed immediately to the upside. So most definitely, I'm waiting to see price mitigating a lot of positions in this demand zone. So that's what I'm looking to see. That's why I ended up discarding this demand zone. This can be a zone of reaction, just the way we had here. Price came and just started to pull back. But if we drop down to medium time frame, let's go to M30. So on the M30 time frame, what I'm seeing is, okay, what is the structure right here? It's clear that it's bearish. We had a break right here. Price then came back, mitigated something. Break of structure came back, mitigated something. Break of structure, and now it came into this zone. So what I'm going to do, guys, is once price it has just came to the supply zone, and we can see that it has a good reaction. The respected supply zone is making its way down. What I'm going to be looking for is on the lower time frame, such as M5, I'm going to look for selling opportunities. I just want to sell a little bit, just scalping opportunities to sell all the way down into this 4-hour demand zone, and that's it, right? Once price comes to this 4-hour demand zone, I'm going to be looking for a reaction. I want to see if this 4-hour demand zone is going to end up being violated, or if price is just gonna come here and create an M15 change of carry to the upside so we can continue to buy up. Okay, so it's simple as that, guys. So I hope I made the point clear with this outlook, guys. I hope you guys really have a great week. I mean, I'm here, guys. As you guys always know, I have my contact on the description box below. If you guys are interested in joining the mentorship, it's very good stuff right there. You want to pass your challenge, get funded, I'm right here to help you guys. So feel free to reach out. My contact is on the description box below, and I'm going to talk to you guys very soon. Bye.